Let's rank every knife skin in Valorant from worst to best. And just remember, it's my opinion. The first knife I ever owned, and also my least favorite in the entire game. A knife with axe animations should never be this small, it's so awkward. It's boring and weird, who cares? It's just default, but it's blue, and the world kept spinning. Glorified default, that's literally it. Do I need to explain? It's so ugly. It's literally just a box cutter. Real question, does anyone own this knife? A single person? Anyone? Memes aside, it's pretty awful, let's be honest. It's just a designer butter knife, not a combat knife. Green screen skins should simply not exist. The design could have been cool, but it's just not. This knife is just ugly. Just really ugly. This one is also very ugly. I honestly just can't be bothered with default reskins. Not the worst for a battle pass, but it's just not pleasant. I mean, like, what am I even looking at? How do you charge $18 for this? I don't get it. That's ridiculous. This is diabolical. The green screen effect is terrible. I don't even know where to begin. It's just an awful mess. Starting off the D tier is a default style knife with funky colors. This knife is lucky it has tagger animations, else it would be firmly in F tier. It's too shiny, way too shiny. I would bet so much money that less than 5 people own this knife. Realistically, it's not awful, but it's also just not interesting. Starting the top 100 is a knife I could not care any less about. This one's interesting, but I'm never using it. Had potential to be cool, didn't live up to it. At least it's unique, I guess. Also pretty unique, but equally as mid. It had a potential, but the right click animation is just goofy. It's not terrible, but it gets boring after 2 games. One of the worst attempts at cloning a Counter-Strike knife. This was not good. One of the ugliest designs I have ever had to lay my eyes on. There are just better hammers. Moving on. Why is this knife so comically large? I don't absolutely despise it, but there are just better Christmas knives. This knife was boring from release, even when everyone loved the guns. The Sovereign sword, if you take the Sovereign out of the sword. It's trying too hard to look badass. It just ended up looking a little bit ass. But before we continue, I need to tell you about exit lag, which is the best way to reduce your ping and stabilize your connection in Valorant. Exit lag uses AI route optimization as well as a dynamic stabilizer to find the best route for your connection, as well as keeping it as stable as possible. And with over 1,000 servers across 5 continents, you can be assured that your connection will be improved regardless of location. Exit lag are currently running a holiday sale for Christmas, and by clicking my link either in the description or the pinned comment, and by using my coupon NikiMe, you can get 50% off of the annual plan. And I've used their product a couple years ago, and I promise that it actually does work really well. Thank you, Exit Lag, and back to the video. Starting off the C tier is an okay knife. That's about it. It's a battle pass dagger. It's not bad, just a bit bland. It is also a battle pass dagger that's slightly less bland. This one gets points for having a pink variant. Very cool, Riot. And another battle pass dagger which is even less bland. I don't understand the logic behind taking a good bundle and giving it default animations. And then they take the same good bundle and just make it kinda ugly. And another battle pass dagger, but pretty good looking. The Tigris bundle could have been so good with effects, man. Riot sold. It's pretty unique looking, and that's all I could ever ask for. This knife pisses me off so bad. I will never understand why they did this. You know what? It's different. I don't hate it. I don't think I've ever seen it, but it's okay. I was hyped when this was leaked because cell shading is awesome, and then it had no effects. Thank you, Riot. It's a baseball bat knife, and therefore it's good, but the others are better. This makes no sense. Was this their reference image? Because it looks like it. One of the best battle pass knives. It's pretty cool, actually. It's a fidget spinner, and my plagued ADHD having self approves of it. As far as I know, this is the only battle pass knife with a unique animation. The animations are amazing, but it's just a bit peculiarly shaped. Easily the second best battle pass knife in the game. I mean, it's literally a Karambit. It's a simple fan, and it's charming as hell. It's cool, but does anyone own this? I'm convinced literally nobody does. There's a better scythe now, so no one cares. Moving on. It's funky, and we appreciate something funky. Design-wise, I love it, but it's just too big for a knife in my opinion. The reason why this knife is so high is because of the stick version. I don't want any arguments. Honestly, Imperium generally speaking is underrated, but the knife is still meh. Same story as the other hammer. Cool design, but way too big. This is more of a distraction than a knife, but at least it looks nice. The Oni Katana's older, yet a little brother. The Prime Karambit's older, yet a little brother. These would honestly be way higher if not for the Looney Tunes running animation. Starting off the B tier, we have literal cardboard. Some of you are going to come for my head over this one, but it's my opinion, so shush. It talks to you, which is fantastic for when your friends refuse to play with you. Or maybe that's just me. Cool bundle, weird design. That's about it. Cool bundle, weird design, part 2, I guess. This one is actually insanely cool, but it suffers a bit from being quite large. It genuinely stuns me that this is a battle pass knife. It's so clean and it's so good. I love the pull-out animation on this thing. It's such a fun one. I just wish it had more going for it. It's honestly just a nice fan knife, but it does have a sibling who who is better in literally every way. Clean ass pull-out animation, clean looking knife, but suffers again from default everything else. How this comes from the same bundle as the Phantom is beyond me. It's so much worse than the guns. I have never seen this even once in game, but I feel like I should have. It's really nice. Dual wield knives are just not the one. The only reason this is high is because it's tree. In my opinion, the worst blade knife in the game. But it's still a blade knife, so it's automatically clean. Way overpriced, but if I had it, I'd use it. Flop. Abhorrent flop. Biggest waste of potential in Valorant history, full stop. Butterfly knives are automatically good, it's just how it is. The first knife I ever bought, and I will defend it to the day I die. It's great, don't talk to me. Axe knives have historically been really boring, so this being quite unique is a breath of fresh air, to be honest. It's weird, but it's good weird, you know what I mean? This knife suffers from its age. It has been far superseded by many, including its own brother. Anyone who says Ruin Dagger is better than this knife is blinded by nostalgia, because come on, this thing is beautiful. It's a clean butterfly, what's there to complain about? It's tree. Tree is good, and I will stand by that. Another clean, simple butterfly with a little Easter egg, and that's pretty sick. It's a cool knife, and it's genuinely unique, but in no world should this be the most expensive knife in the game. Like, how is that even a thing? Starting off the A tier is a cult hero. And listen, don't go in my comments telling me this is too low. There are better knives with the same animations. Easily one of the most underrated knives in the game. I don't ever hear people talking about it or using it, but it's sick. The Banana Karambit itself. They kind of sold with the upgraded version, which is the only reason it isn't higher. It's a thick ass dagger, but it's really sick, hence being the highest rated dagger on the list. Ever since somebody showed me that it looks like a toucan, I have never unseen it. Ever, not once. This knife set the standard for axe knives. Any worse than this, and it may as well not even exist. It's a fantastic knife. I really have nothing bad to say about it, and the animations are unbelievably cool. I would argue this knife has aged the best out of every knife that was released from the start of the game, because it is beautiful. Controversial bundle, I know, but I don't care. It's unique, it's fun, and it's good. I don't think they'll ever make a better kunai than this. It's genuinely stunning. It kind of feels like I'm not in the correct wealth class to be using such a classy knife, but alas, it's gorgeous. Some of you are gonna scream at me for not having this in S tier. I just personally think it's a little bit outdated. And this one only slightly pips the Karambit, but honestly, they're still both amazing. The white version with that right-click animation is a work of art. Such a cool knife, genuinely. Starting off the S tier is a knife that to this day is just one of the cleanest in the game. This is a prime example of how to make a unique, sick, menacing knife. And yet, Riot refuses to do it more often. This is my biggest regret. I sincerely and wholeheartedly regret not buying it. It's unbelievably cool. Starting off the top 10 is pure redemption for the disaster of the original Singularity knife. Need I say more? This is a classic. Nothing more can be said about it. This was the knife that originally dethroned Xenohunter, and for good reason. It is clean beyond belief. Now, I have no idea if people are gonna agree with me on this being so high, but Arcane is literally my favorite piece of media, so I'm backing the gauntlets, alright? Beautiful Karambit, and probably the record holder for the knife with the most hype on release. If you were there, you know. Starting the top 5 is a timeless classic. This thing is aging like fine goddamn wine. It took the Xenohunter knife and made it better in literally every way. What a beautiful and fun knife. Listen man, I'm a gamer, I like RGB, and I like Karambits. It's a match made in heaven. Riot snapped with this champ's knife. Not only does it genuinely look incredible, have really fun to use unique animations, but it can equip a gun buddy. That's so sick. And coming in at first place is none other than the Kuranami knife, and to be honest, I don't think this is difficult to predict. It's so clean, the unique style of it is just unmatched at the moment, and I believe that it is the best. Thank you guys for watching, and guys, please don't comment about the new Araxis knife. It came out too recently, I haven't had time to form an opinion on it yet, and also this video was edited way before it came out, so please, forgive me.